All right. Welcome to the After Practice Podcast. We're up here in 13 Stairs Studios. At least me and Papa Bear Todd Harry are here. We've got Brock Felix and AJ Fry on the line. Brock's at home in his studio. Say what's up, Brock.
No.
Good enough for me. AJ Fry, I believe he's driving home right now from Lancaster. AJ, what's up, dude?
Yeah. Oh, nothing. Just great. Actually doing 45 in a 70, so we're doing pretty good.
That's
that's
good for a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, hey. Well, Todd, say hello, too, because I didn't give you a chance.
Hey.
There's Papa Bear. We're up here.
So, speaking of Lancaster. So I did a little Amish buggy research.
Todd's been upset with me because I keep saying wagon, and he keeps going buggy. So today he done some research to let me know why it's a buggy and not a wagon. So I'm gonna let him have it.
I actually couldn't find that.
Todd.
Yeah.
This is not the 45 minutes that you told me about, is it?
Oh no. A whole 45-minute
whole 45 Amish hour.
No, but so fun fact, buggies are actually called surreys. That's the style that we see around here, and it's referred to by the Amish as a minivan.
No way.
I'll pull it right up again.
No way.
Fact check it.
I've never heard anybody call it minivan.
Have you talked to an Amish about their Surrey wagon?
I gotta say, I haven't struck up too many conversations about the wagons. Haven't been super interested in them.
So that is if you want to call it a wagon, it's a Surrey wagon or a buggy.
Okay, well, the more you know, After Practice Podcast, just letting you know, get your Amish terminology right.
So apparently these things can range from like $1,500 up to $9,000. And it says
that's a Cadillac right there.
Well equipped, fully loaded. I pulled up. I pulled up a site that was selling these
the floor
things.
Model.
Well,
how much chrome was on it?
I didn't see the picture because they are custom built. Each one is custom built for the customer.
Oh wow! Just real,
Yeah, I mean, so you.
Who's the market for that, though? Because aren't the Amish, like, super against, like, vanity? Like, I remember hearing that the community across the bridge in Perryville don't have roofs on their wagons because they wanted something, and when you want something that's vain, you have to give something up. And I just wanted to know what the hell they gave up the roofs on their wagons for.
So well-equipped and fully loaded is safety features. So it's got, like, a 12-volt battery in there. It's got seat belts. I'm not joking. I mean, I see you not believing me. With your
I
eyeballs.
believe you. I just did not realize you had done this large amount of wagon shopping today. I did not realize. I'm surprised you can wagon shop online. To be honest with you, that seems like a really.
It's sort of counterintuitive as far as the Amish community goes.
Shouldn't be able to.
AJ, I found a couple of pop-up campers, man. We can get that fleet started.
Yeah, you did say something about that. I mean, I feel like it's just a smart move.
You got to get in early before everybody's like, hey, listen, we need pop-ups out here,
So Alex and I got the privilege to go to see Blackberry Smoke on Tuesday. First controversial topic.
Oh,
you guys are going to either rip me up and down.
Oh, man, guys.
Or not.
All
okay.
Right.
So
all right. My finger is hovering over the hang-up button.
I wore our band's Royally Bankrupt T-shirt to the concert.
AJ, do you want to weigh in on how you feel about that? Because I feel like we just got Brock's.
Well, Todd, I feel like we all knew the rules, and you ignored that rule.
I told Alex, I said, these guys are going to just rip me up.
We
got to do it. We got to do it.
I asked him after the show because he also didn't tell me he was doing that. He just straight up Supermaned it there when we're in the venue. He's just like, oh boy, it's getting hot in here. Takes his coat off, and I'm just looking over there and I'm just like, oh boy. and so I asked him, I said, Todd, what would you have done if somebody walked up to you and asked you what was on your T-shirt? And he said,
what was the plan?
What would you, here, I'll ask you for the podcast listeners. I won't put words in your mouth. But if they would have walked up to you and asked you what was on your T-shirt, what would you have said?
Now, of course, like I said earlier, the qualifier is, are you standing next to me or not?
That's a fair point.
Because I would say either my band or our band.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's going to drag you down.
Todd,
and I told him if I was standing next to him when he told somebody my band or our band, it didn't matter, that I would walk away.
I would not. Now, I just want to tell you both, Charlie Starr saw that T-shirt. We were like right up in there. He saw it.
Hey, man, there ain't nothing wrong with being proud. Todd made that T-shirt, and we are playing and stuff like that. It isn't something I would have done, but that's why we got different strokes for different folks.
I don't think it's a thing you should do.
Well, nobody else was going to wear one
we're
there.
Gonna get a
so
call.
It was a
well,
safe
nobody asked. Nobody asked. So unless somebody listens to this podcast and is just like, I can't believe that you did that,
And they can do that. That's fine.
The audacity.
The number to reach me at is 1-800-PISS-OFF. And, we can talk it out.
You, doucheralex@gmail.com, got the original Doucher Alex. You can just drop that hate mail in there and nobody will ever look at it.
Someday we're going to get a call. It's going to be like, hey, we heard you guys are kind of like a good fit to open for these dudes. Do you want to do it? And we'd be like, yeah. And then we get there, and then Charlie Starr's going to look at you and be like, I remember you. You were wearing that band shirt. And then he's going to look at us and be like,
you were wearing your own band T-shirt?
Come on, man.
We gotta
Come on,
get
man.
a
You
different
can't
opener.
be doing that in here. Boys, I got to tell you.
We got to get a different opener.
I got to tell you, Brock, what is the long-haired, luscious, blonde-haired guitar player's name in Blackberry? Is it Wayne?
Blonde. Well, I guess he is kind of dark, very blonde.
Well, yeah, got the lights on it. It's shining.
I can't remember right now.
His name is Paul Jackson.
Since
2000.
Paul Jackson. Okay, so did you say since 2000?
Yeah,
like
everybody.
His name has been Paul Jackson only since 2000.
It's I googled Blackberry Smoke members, and it says each of their parts, and it says since 2000. Every single one of them.
But anyway, I'll tell you, man, Paul Jackson is a world-class individual, man. That dude was just so happy the whole time. I don't know if he was looking at me, but I'll tell you, boys, a few times it looked like he was looking at me and he just smiled.
I'll tell you what.
It made me feel good inside.
I saw out of the corner of my eye his pants move a little bit.
Yeah, every
he must have been looking behind me.
Maybe
he was looking at that lady that was dancing by Todd the whole time.
Man, this lady she was at 11 before the show even started, before the opener.
The time they don't even care if playing.
Yeah. I kind of dread them in some ways, but also I'm really happy when there's one of those people at one of our shows.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to get into it.
Yeah, it could be a Wiggles cover band or us, and it doesn't matter. They're just like that all the time for the whole show.
I'm telling you, man, I never seen just the engagement that he had with the crowd without saying a word. It just blew me away, man. I mean, and then he was just, there was a kid in the front row. He was just giving him guitar. I mean, just being a really nice guy, talking to people he could see in the front row right there. I mean, it's great to see a guy who's doing what he loves, you know what I mean, and just really enjoying it.
Alex has been on about Paul Jackson for 2 solid days. I'm glad somebody else can hear about it.
Oh, damn. Well, we'll try to find his email and we'll get you guys set up together.
So,
I think he is married, so you'll have to deal with that.
He was the only one without a ring on.
I know he was married.
Uh-oh.
So,
ridiculous. I like his stage presence.
He might not wear. Hey, it's 2024. It's nothing to be ashamed of, buddy. He might not wear it when he plays. I know mine always clacked on the neck, and I didn't like it.
The opener was Dwayne Betts, Dickie's son, named after Dwayne Allman.
I didn't even have a They didn't even have a local opener they brought in.
Right.
I don't know if he's on the whole tour with them because I remember when we got the tickets, we looked, and I don't think that there was an opener listed.
Probably just do legs.
How would you guys feel about being like born into that legacy and then being named after the other legacy?
Yeah, a second generation musician. Like not second generation, because there's a ton of like generational classical musicians, like second generation rock star, second generation country star.
Oh, I'd love it. We'd be working way less hard.
I don't know. I do see it a lot, you know.
So part of why we asked this.
One of you guys do a DNA test and we got a result that was a little out there? Or?
Yes. No. So it kind of looked like he was there, like he had to take over the family business, and he was there like almost because he had to be.
Oh, is this like a Wolfgang Van Halen kind of thing or not? Because I know Wolfgang, he wants to do that. But
yeah, I don't know.
He didn't like he did it, or
it almost seemed like it's kind of a thing that he just didn't know what else to do.
Well, I mean, I feel like also when you're you know, your dad is a guitar player and you're named after one of the best guitar players of all time. You know, did he really have the option to play
triangle?
Yeah, or to just not play music in general. I don't know. I feel like it's probably not the easiest thing.
I'm pretty sure he had the option to do just about anything he wanted.
That would be fantastic, though. Like, hey, man, I just got my tires rotated, and he looked just like Dwayne Allman. Like, yeah, it's my passion. I opened up my own shop. Yeah.
I wouldn't want it, man. I wouldn't want to be second generation. I'm glad my dad is T.J. Rubrecht. I love my dad, but I'm glad I don't have to live up to a legacy in the same career I'm trying to make. Like, that's a tough one.
I thought it would be great, but Alex went in. He was looking for a little bit more out of him, I think, just because of who he was.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even just because of who he was, man. Honestly, if it would have been anybody else, any other opener, there are things that you notice.
No, I'll tell you what it was. I don't know if Alex will admit this, especially on the podcast, but I'll tell you what it was. He wanted the opener. He wanted to look at the opener and be able to go, "Come on, man, we could have done that."
He had a solid band, though.
I mean, I don't think that that's the case, man, because it's not even really like I wouldn't look at it that way as far as like we could have done that, or we could have, because it's music, man. It's different, you know. I wouldn't say that it's better or worse. I'll say his performance, you know, I don't know. Allegedly, he looked pretty messed up on something, man. And it just seemed he had to give a lot of cues to his band of professional musicians. You know, at least a cue a song.
Cues because of him being off. And he's like, "Hey, I'm here." So his band is called Palmetto Motel. Very great musicians, though.
They were real good. Me and Todd were trying to figure out where their guitar player kept putting his slide.
Yeah, I mean, he was smooth. It was in his left pocket, but man.
What do they play? I mean, I'm assuming it's similar to Blackberry Smoke if they were opening for him.
I'd say it's more, I don't know. It's more, so they played Blue Sky, I think. I'm bad at Allman Brothers song names because I don't normally just look up a song. I normally just listen to like an entire album. So I just bad at the names, but they did play an Allman Brothers song like midway through, but his songs I would say were more, I don't know, close to Blackberry Smoke, but I would say a bit darker.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I was trying to think of darker work because it's not grungier.
But I don't know if that was just because he was kind of exuding some darkness, man.
Like his eyes,
he had a hat on and like his whole, you know, it was real shaded and his eyes, you know, were real. It was a little creepy vibe, you know. I mean, I don't want to hate on the man, but that probably was like, man, this song feels a little bit dark.
If you were a second generation rock star, how often would you play one of your dad's songs?
Never.
I think he probably
only at a tribute show. Only at a tribute show where like other folks are doing it, and I don't think that he wants to neither.
Okay, I don't think he wants to at all, but I think that it is an expectation of him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I
think that
and
might
that's
be.
why that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't want if you could
that
change
would
things.
be expected of you.
So, Brock, if you had a guitar tech and
Uh-huh.
and 10 guitars, would you
Okay.
change those guitars in and out throughout the set, or would you knock out the songs that you play that guitar on?
It would probably be like I would play, unless I had a specific guitar for a specific sound for a specific song. It would probably be like I'd play one until it need tuned, and then I'd give them the heads up, be like, hey, come just swap this out,
Okay, that's a good.
rather than like
a
tuning
fair
between
answer.
songs.
I can appreciate that.
Because
Yeah, I think
that was another thing with Blackberry Smoke is their guitar techs were very good because there was a change every song.
But there was 15
They're
guitar changes in a 2-hour set.
Yeah, they're both collectors.
Wow.
there was some beautiful stuff, man.
Man, a lot of Gibsons. We saw a lot of Gibsons on
A lot
Tuesday
of beautiful
night.
Gibsons. The one that their slide guitar player, the guy who's newer to the band, probably should have pulled up the whole band. I feel bad about not knowing people's names, but man, that dude blew me away. It was amazing. But he has what looks to be a junior, but it looks like an SG junior. So I'm wondering if it's like before the SG was the SG and it was just a Les Paul, and that's just a Les Paul junior from the era.
Might be, but they do make an SG Junior.
So the
basically
other one
it.
though, I still haven't found yet.
What other one?
So he plays this little red junior of some kind that's a Gibson that I can't figure out.
It really looks like an Epiphone Wilshire. Like it's shorter stubs than an SG would be, and they're not as pointed.
There is a Les Paul Junior that's a double cutaway.
Really? Because that could be
Yeah.
it. I mean, that could be what we're looking at here.
It probably was, but man, yeah, their show was just.
The body would look
Bet you
kind
guys
of
got
like
to see it.
the body would look kind of like the kit guitar that I built.
Kind of, just a little. It's definitely a little bit more, for lack of better words, bubbly.
Yeah, like it's not going to be 1-to-1 because of legal stuff, but
Right.
it's like that general. But they were juniors, so they didn't have a carved top like mine did. They just had the flat body.
I mean, that may be it. I'm gonna have to Google that here in a minute. I am trying to find all of the, because I can't find the slide guitar player.
That's all right. I remember he was from Rome, Georgia. Can y'all believe I don't remember his name, but I remember he's from Georgia? Brock, you believe that?
I don't believe it at all.
I just remember going, Rome, Georgia? What you doing in Rome, man? I mean, obviously becoming a real good guitar player. I mean,
he was.
ain't a
he
whole
was
lot else to
fantastic.
do in Rome. So
Trying real hard to get out of Rome.
Trying hard to get out of it.
Rome's one of those cities that is like Atlanta adjacent, though. So, like, for me, Atlanta was 4 hours. You know,
Okay.
I could go to Charleston or, like, going to shows in Atlanta was like, I remember looking at tickets and bands coming through town and being like, man, I'd really like to go to this show, and I can afford the ticket, but I can't afford the gas, you know, and
Right.
having to be like, well, if I can get 4 people to come with me, then we can all afford it. But
Yeah.
never. That didn't happen too often. But yeah, Blackberry Smoke was awesome. Next time they come through town, we'll
Tuesday night was rough though. That was rough.
yeah, Tuesday
Yeah.
Tuesday
bet,
night
yeah.
I was so tired, dude. I felt so bad because I was like, I'm enjoying myself, but I'm falling asleep.
So Charlie Starr watched me yawn, and I felt like such a dick. I mean, he looked right at me. Yeah.
God,
It was
are you
surprising
trying?
because we were like
to ruin
general
our
admission,
reputation?
dude. We were like general admission, but it wasn't a giant theater. Like the front section we were in was maybe
Is it
5 rows of people, and we were probably in the 3rd row.
We were in the second,
the-
2/3, depending on where people were stacking in there.
Was it at the Roxy?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
nice
nice
place.
place, yeah.
Really nice
Sweet
place.
sound system. awesome lights. It was really, yeah, it was.
It was really top notch, especially for a Tuesday night.
But I mean, I've been to shows in basements where like bands, I'm looking eye to eye with, and then I've been in concerts where like I'm in the front row, but the person on stage doesn't really know that I exist. This was somewhere in the middle where it was like that front section was so... I hit my cable. Damn it. That front section was so small that it was almost like being in a little bar.
Yeah, the front section was for sure.
I bet that was a converted like pit section for an orchestra.
Well, that's what I was saying. It was definitely not... When it was built, it wasn't a rock and roll theater. There's just no way. But I would guarantee that Brock's probably right on that one, the way that's built.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool to be that close. Todd got me a Blackberry Smoke hat, man.
I was like, no, I got a T-shirt, but I bought the T-shirt for me.
You already had a band shirt. You didn't need a Blackberry Smoke shirt.
So it looked to me like they were just selling their merch. Like the theater did not get any money. Shirts were $30, hats were $25.
Nice.
So I mean that seems pretty legit.
Nice.
They don't come around very often.
Get that 25 to you next Tuesday.
Hopefully,
I'll see you next Tuesday.
Not the next. Not.
I was just gonna say
not the next one we're gonna come to. Your next one.
They don't come up around this way very often, so maybe the next time they do, we'll be getting paid to go there.
That'd be sweet.
Crackling my mic because I got to be demonstrative with my hands.
So we can cut this part out, but I can mute you and we can change that out right now.
Hey guys, we're gonna fix my mic real quick because I keep fucking up.
So I'm still gonna be on the line, but Alex and I are gonna change his mic cable. So.
I'm not worried about the cable.
Oh, okay. All right, so he's gonna just change it around a little bit. So.
What kind of chicken shit operation is this?
It's the chicken shittiest. No, it's
Bush League.
Bush League. No, I do like this little Zoom thing though. It's pretty fucking sweet. Coming in hot with the drums.
Yeah, very hot. All right, Todd, we're gonna play the game.
I think I made it worse.
You're gonna guess what mile marker. I'm gonna tell you which mile marker, and you're gonna tell me where I'm at.
Whichever one.
All right, we are 83.4.
Oh, 83.4. You're in Brookville.
Yes, sir. Pass around.
Hey, Jay, the funny thing about that is, like, you seem amazed whenever you're like, we're going to play the game.
Really
Where am I at?
from
Here's the
Claire?
mile marker. But the last 4 times you've been in Brookville, man.
I think it was in Du Bois the last time. maybe, but, you know.
We just always call you when you go through Brookville. I mean, it's just a little predictable, you know.
Yeah,
So-
whenever you guys get a hold of me, it's when I'm, like, not too far from home.
Right, which is great. I'm glad you're that close, honestly.
Yeah. Well, yep, there's a Hazen, 1 mile.
Hazen.
Hazen.
You guys ever been to Hazen? We
No,
should try
I've
to play
heard
it
all
at some
time.
point in time. It's wild out there, man. It's this.
I heard it's everything but mild.
It's a flea market, but it's like a party. It's a flea market party for the weekend. It's wild stuff going
What
on.
in the white trash heaven?
No, it's called Hazen.
Well, you call it whatever you want. That's white trash heaven right there.
Hey,
Hazen.
don't be Hazen. Don't be Hazen.
But
You mean I can get autographed Tony Stewart merch and I don't have to get drunk in the parking lot? Hell yeah.
Yeah, you get to get drunk in the parking lot. That's the whole thing. Yeah, you don't have to. You get to.
So, kind of speaking about flea markets, so Alex and I went used gear shopping. Man, that's always a fun experience because you got these guys out there. They're like, "What else you need?" What's the answer every time?
Yeah.
What do you have?
Yeah, what you got? I like not even just for musical gear. You know, if I go buy something from somebody, I'll be like, you got anything else you want to sell? You know, because maybe they didn't, like, I'll save you a listing. You know what I mean? Maybe it's something sweet and you're just like, listen, you know, you're here. I'm gonna give you this good price. You know, guy I used to work for, Petey, always used to say, "You want a good deal, you got to have the money in your pocket." That's what Petey always used to say.
Luckily, Travis left it in his truck, so we had it.
Yeah, thank you, Trav, for paying for those lights. We appreciate that, and we will definitely pay you back for that at some point. Invoices. Invoices.
Well, he's financing through to Trav.
doucheralex@gmail.com. Send that invoice over there.
So we're over there buying this stage. He's like, "What else you got?" So he started showing us those lights, $150 lights, $15 a piece. They work.
Yep.
It's freaking
light show for the festival is going to be pretty sweet. All right, what's up with you, Brock, man? Can't do the guitar thing, I'm assuming, because like a phone, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, that probably won't work out well. I got a few news stories that interested me in various ways. I got 3. I don't know if I don't have any witty, borderline disrespectful headlines. I could probably come up with one. Probably come up with some if you really need me to. But I got three news stories.
I mean, I think you should create up a witty name on the spot, and we'll go with what we vote is the best witty name that you come up with on the spot. So you're going to have to care about that story to give it the best name.
AJ just sounded like something important happened.
Sorry, people are just dumb.
Dumb. This is dumb. Everything's dumb.
Everything's dumb. I was opening in the hotel, and I thought it was a cool nickname for Brock.
Oh, God.
It's not about that. But you wanted something short and sweet. What about Rock and Brock Felix?
Rock and Brock. So the
sounds like a DJ.
The percussion player for Blackberry Smoke is where did it just go? For goodness sakes, I'm trying to think of his name.
The new one.
He's just the percussionist. So
he had all kinds of stuff.
He was saying never getting scabies.
Yeah, what? Charlie Starr introduced him as never had scabies. He said his first name and then never had scabies in his last name, and then he told a story about how he definitely did not get scabies.
Something about a pond with a bunch of dirty hippies and some other stuff going on.
So I feel like he got scabies.
Yeah, I feel like it was definitely the case. I mean, it was not heavily veiled sarcasm. All right, Brock, what you got, man?
Okay, just pulling these out of my ass.
All right.
Oh, wipe them off first.
No, they're going straight to you. I'm trying to think of a cryptic one for the last one, and it's not going to be cryptic no matter how I do it. So I'll start with the last one then, because there's no cryptic way. There's no way to bury the story in the headline.
Todd, give him the startup music, get his juices going, and we'll give you that time. All right. Well, now we're back. What you got, dude?
Whistle, blow your brains out.
Whistle, blow your brains out. I know what story that is.
You probably do. It's been around the past couple weeks. Okay, that's the one where there was no good way to bury it. The second one is shopping delight, and
I feel like there's some hidden shopping delight. All right, third one.
Let's see. Pet snake pandemonium.
Well,
now,
I'm a little intrigued by that.
I know a pet snake story too, and it's nothing gross. I know that sounded pretty perverted, but it wasn't. You look like you know a pet snake story. Let's go with the pet snake one first.
All right. I like pet snake. Okay, now I got to give you a little bit of a warning. The snake's not technically part of the story.
Okay.
Alex.
Yes.
Alex.
Yeah, Alex. I'm here, man. I'm here.
Okay. Let's see.
Alex.
This is from this is a fun little news story from a few weeks ago from your adopted home state, and we'll see if you are still willing to claim that.
I mean, they
After
didn't
this,
adopt me. That's what Hills and Hollers is about. They didn't hesitate to let me know every single day that that's not where
you
I
know
was
where
from.
you know where Bryan County is?
Yeah. Oh man. I kind of want to hear the story before I tell you where Bryan County is. To be honest with you.
Sounds
You
like he's
live in
lived
Bryan
in it. I'm gonna say his face said definitely.
2 Georgia men are accused of setting off a bomb at a woman's home and plotting to release a python to eat her daughter.
Damn.
Authorities say 34-year-old Caleb Kinsey and 37-year-old Stephen Glosser conspired to harass, intimidate, injure, or kill the woman who owned the house. I'm going to say there wasn't an or there. It should have been an and.
Yeah, I mean,
If you're doing one, you're doing them all.
Snake. That's quite a bit of planning. I mean, that's
Glosser,
you got down with a pen and pad.
yeah.
You wrote it out.
That wasn't even plan A. Glosser and the victim allegedly met on a dating app, but the relationship eventually went south, so they decided to block each other. That's when Kinsey got involved. The men allegedly planned to shoot arrows into the victim's front door, mail her dog feces or dead rats, scalp her head, blow up the home, and release a large python to eat her daughter.
Well, I mean, to me, it makes sense that blowing up the
Yeah,
home.
that all makes sense, right?
Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense. But blowing up the home and getting a python to eat the daughter, to me, does make sense that wouldn't be your first plan. That seems like a pretty elaborate thing. You've tried some stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
It's got to be a heck of a python. I mean,
and I gotta say, when you was reading the names, man, I was pretty nervous. Because Bryan County is really close to where I grew up. Like, really close. Like, Bryan County is... I never lived in Bryan County, but it's, like, adjacent. I think it touches Bullock, and it touches Effingham, which is the county I'm from. And...
So it'd be like going to Clarion County.
I mean...
From here.
It is wild out there, dude. I mean, meth
were
involved.
Meth were involved.
Meth were involved.
Indeed.
And that's how you get to blow up a house. Let's get my python to eat the daughter, you know.
Well, it doesn't even say that they have a pet python. It seems like the python...
They were just going to kill one.
Like they were gonna abduct a python. I mean, that's close to some swampy areas, right?
I feel like
not swampy areas that have pythons.
But
Like
maybe
there's no native pythons.
No, I don't think they're gonna capture one. But I think the thought process was that like
they know somebody that has one that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think if I had to guess, I'm gonna say the thought process was like, okay, we live close enough to a swampy area that a python just happened to roll up the road, see a house blown up, and go, I'm gonna go see if there's a snack in there. And then I don't.
Brock, I don't think it's real good to try to put yourself in the headspace of somebody who planned to blow up a house and have a child eaten by a python. I don't think that's the place you want to be when Jesus comes back.
I was glad to hear or see that your facial expression didn't change when he said the names. I was like, oh, is he going to know these people?
I didn't think I would know the people, but I thought I would know the
at least
last
the name. Yeah,
I thought I would know the name. I mean, there's so many similar names. I believe my mom, I think, dated a guy named Brian from Bryan County. I believe it was King.
They did blow up the house.
Oh, they did.
They built a bomb out of tannerite and blew up the house, but they didn't get to do any of their other fun extracurriculars.
Can you build a bomb out of tannerite, or isn't that just a bomb itself?
Isn't it just like you just got enough of it? Like is there really building at that point? Because it's just like
instead of shooting it, they may have done like a discharge in there or something.
I mean, old Leroy and Bubba out there did not. I mean, the python thing, dude. You think they're setting up a fuse and a switch?
Well,
it would surprise me if one of them didn't just throw a match and run out of there. You know,
I don't know if tannerite will go off like that. I think,
The only-
I think it has to be pulse.
You shoot it. Yeah, you shoot it.
I think it has to be some sort of concussant.
Concussion, yes,
gotta
thank
shoot
you.
it.
Well, them old boys in Bryan County got a gun. So I'm just saying.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
And they got
The
a
only,
python.
the only surprising thing about the entire story is that neither one of them had a face tattoo.
Oh,
That is surprising to.
So there's still hope.
I don't know.
I mean, they'll probably get one in prison.
Bryan County's rough, dude. It's rough out there.
It's funny. I mean, you should see the sincerity in his eyes. He's like, man, I'm concerned. I'm concerned
Now,
about
the
Bryan
picture-
County, man.
the picture of the house blown up. It's like a nice house in like a subdivision.
Well,
So I
mean,
know the image is everyone's head is probably like a trailer. No, this was like a nice house with like attached 2-stall garage.
I kind of pictured Ginny's house off of Forrest Gump, her dad's house in the middle of the field there.
I pictured
Oh,
a
this
trailer
was-
only because I've been to Bryan County, but it makes sense. I mean, it's all
Is
all
that
subdivisions.
Is that a BRY? Or is that
Yeah.
a BRI?
It's BRY. If it was in a subdivision, it was probably in Pembroke, is where I would say it would be. There's not a whole lot of big towns in Bryan
Apparently,
County.
there's a Bryan County, Virginia, too.
So that was that first news story. Is you guys want to look at the other two?
What I want the one that I don't know what the story is. We could talk about the one that I know what the story is for sure, but I'm just interested to hear the second one that you
You want
read.
the shopping spree delight or whatever the hell I said?
Yeah.
Hillbilly Delight.
Oh man,
Hillbilly Deluxe, slick, pick 'em up.
oh,
tough.
you know what? I think that was actually a local story, and the link is dead now. So I'm thinking maybe that was like a judge's kid.
Dang.
But that was
Synopsis,
That
then,
was-
maybe?
yeah, that was a you guys probably saw it floating around on Facebook. That was man caught stealing Alfredo pasta and sauce and sex toys from Walmart.
I did see that.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
I saw that headline. It's hilarious. So these dudes, the dude on the
I
right
didn't know that you could
in
get
this
that
picture
at Walmart.
definitely looks
I
like
didn't
he
either.
would
I
do
didn't know
that.
they had sex toys in the Walmart.
I was
Well,
wondering.
yeah.
I think they got cock rings in there.
Yeah,
I
they've
didn't
got
know you
like
could Alfredo.
little, they have like little vibrator things and stuff like
Oh, the
that.
super
Like,
ring.
yeah,
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I didn't
AJ's
know
like,
that.
oh yeah, toys.
All right.
I know all about toys. All
Well,
mine
we
got
know
stolen
AJ.
out of a hotel room, but I know all about them.
Honestly, I just didn't know that they had Alfredo sauce.
Damn.
That was actually
AJ wasn't even concerned about it. He was like, when did they get Alfredo? I ain't been to Walmart in a while. They got
Yeah,
Alfredo
it's been a
sauce
month.
in
you just kind of blasted him on the podcast about that hotel room thing. Damn.
there?
Oh,
So-
I found it.
So Boeing.
I found the details.
Okay.
Oh, you found it?
So, 30-year-old Christopher John Hankins. AJ, do you know him?
Chris John Hankins,
Yeah.
like hanging hell, like he's been hanging for a long time. He's been
That's what it
hanging,
sounded
hanging,
like, hanging.
Yes, Hankins.
No, I don't know.
I do not
Okay.
know that last name either. Which is good.
Yeah, not
One less thing.
Pasta sauce was described as 2 15-ounce jars of Classico 4-cheese Alfredo spaghetti sauce.
cheese. That's expensive shit. That's actual base sauce.
I mean, that's a that's a good bit. I was thinking one
Something,
jar.
that's not the, that's not the great
Two-
value kind. That's the
Like that's probably what got him caught because he tried to do the
Yeah.
2 jars. It's like, man, you could have done one.
I do like
But
that
you
the
had to
fella
go.
valued the glass jar too, though. He was just like,
Classico,
"Listen,
yeah. I mean, he didn't
I'm
go.
putting these in my britches, so this is risky, but I
mean-
like a glass jar.
If I'm going to steal pasta sauce, I'm going to steal the most expensive pasta sauce.
I'm glad he didn't steal Newman's own. I would have a because those proceeds
yeah.
go to charity. That's
All
fine.
right,
I'm
you
just
guys
glad,
ready?
I'm
You guys
glad
ready
he
for
has
the other
glass.
half?
Yep.
Like the rag is kind of or something.
I'm just a little curious to see if two things were in conjunction. Just trying to see what kind of evening the fella had planned.
The sex
It
toy was
sounded like
listed.
it sounded like it was a weekend thing. Like I feel like he was,
I'm pretty sure this
Yeah,
was
maybe
on a
he
I
needs
Friday.
hope it was
pasta
a Tuesday.
After he's doing what he's doing,
No.
maybe he needs pasta to get some energy back.
It was on March 1st,
yeah,
I think,
the
so
car.
it's Friday.
Yeah.
All right, so the other half of this equation is the sex toy was listed as a Hello Cake Bounce Vibe G-Spot vibrator.
Oh, damn. Hello
The total
Cake,
value
huh?
of the items was determined to be $55.94.
Oh, man. Could you imagine going down for all of this stuff combined?
Can you imagine having to be sitting in a cell and telling people what you're in for? You know,
Dude,
I
it gets
think you
better.
just go
I just
theft
feel-
at that point. I don't think you go into what you got, you know. I think that's a tough.
Oh, that's
Hank-
an interesting looking piece of machinery there.
According to the complaint, Hankins
think
told
I'm not-
police his
I'm
friend.
not sticking up for this guy, but like I feel like someone's birthday got ruined. He was trying to do something nice, or he was doing something nice for himself.
That could
It
be
just-
the angle that is coming from.
I mean, he was just trying to make a nice dinner and
'Cause I'm
go
just
above
telling
and
you,
beyond.
like, if I had a nickel for every time I go, it happens to everybody, you know. It's,
Right. Well, the hole keeps getting deeper for this guy.
I bet it does.
The
According to
proverbial
the
hole.
complaint, according to the complaint, Hankins told police his friend was with him, but he was shopping separately. He also admitted that he drove his friend's vehicle to Walmart, but he does not have a license. Hankins
I mean,
was
that sounds like
arrested-
Oil City to me, to be honest with you. I mean,
Well,
you
don't
drove
worry,
somebody
we're gonna-
else's car in without a license. That's par.
It gets more Oil City in a minute. Hankins was arrested, and a search incident to arrest yielded suspected methamphetamine in a small seam in the small right pocket of his jeans. It was also determined that the suspect had an active bench warrant for failing to appear on previous drug charges.
Well, yeah. That all adds
Well,
up.
I told you it was a gateway drug. It leads straight to Alfredo.
I mean,
time.
just
Every
get you
time.
hooked.
Back to that Alfredo. Just
Start
can't
with
cut
Maybe
it.
the Alfredo was the gateway drug.
Start with a toot every once in a while, and before you know it, you're eating 3 pounds of pasta.
Well, I don't freebase Alfredo. I'll do a little better now. I don't freebase Alfredo.
I'm not an Alfredo fan. I'm not a big Alfredo fan.
I'm just happy
You
he
don't
got
look
some
like you
class.
are
He
either.
didn't get like the ragu plastic jug of it. You know, he went for the glass jars. He went for the good stuff.
I mean, when you living on the edge, where you're like, I got a bench warrant out for drugs. I got drugs on me. I just want some noodles. I mean, he didn't try to get to noodles. I mean, noodles are accessible. Everybody knows noodles are accessible. He probably had the noodles.
Noodles and sex toys.
Well, you go to a dollar store for noodles. You shoplifting from the dollar store.
I mean,
He had to go get the
Alex,
fancy
but
sauce, you know. Plus, you don't want to
I
get
mean-
caught stealing from the dollar store. I mean, how's that look? I mean,
Yeah, but $50 from Walmart. I mean,
But the thing is about the dollar store is they're told not to confront people.
Yeah, I mean, if you work at the dollar store. I mean, not for nothing though, Alex. Like, regardless of the sauce, he got that super ring. I mean, Edgen, he is the edge. He lives on the edge. I'm pretty sure Edgen wasn't fine in his night if he wouldn't have gotten caught.
right,
I feel like sauce, regardless, like something like that was gonna happen. So,
right. I want to say that I don't condone shoplifting.
No,
I do
absolutely
want to
not.
say
That's
that.
bad. You can't do
Pay for your stuffs. What happened?
If it's like a big box store, steal. Fuck them. They destroy communities.
that. Oh man, I just saw someone with a bunch of pallets.
I don't feel the
They're
same way,
down.
but that's all right. So the third one, Boeing.
All right, so there's a lot that goes into this.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna say it, and here's what I'm gonna say. To
Say.
start this off, this is what I'm gonna say. It is the official after practice podcast stance that Boeing murdered this guy.
Well, I mean, I don't think you could speak for 3 other individuals.
No,
You
it
can
is.
lay it
Trust me.
down. You can't. You
Give me-
can't. You got to lay
me
it
10
down
minutes.
first.
Give me 10 minutes.
Well,
That's how
10 minutes.
fucking confident I am. So,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
if you weren't aware, Boeing's been in the news lately for having real shoddy products.
I saw some
I'm-
memes, but I didn't investigate.
A door fell off of a plane.
Sounds bad.
Oh, wait, that
Uh,
power. Oh, my.
Yeah. So a door fell off a plane. There's been some stuff, and So what had happened was Boeing moved from Washington to South Carolina. And when they moved to South Carolina, they started a new shop without the union. So, funny thing about union shops, you know what unions require to run a shop? A lot of things. One of them being an employment contract.
Right.
And usually those employment contracts involve quite a few things, especially in related to the well-being and treatment of the workers. So, Boeing moved to South Carolina, started this new factory, no union, hired local people because union engineers and fabricators aren't moving across the country to work in a non-union shop.
I'm surprised that engineers are union anywhere. Engineers are normally like management tier.
Mm-hmm. At least like factories that I know of around here, but who knows?
Well, regardless,
I mean,
the people on the floor turning the wrenches, they're not going across the country to a non-union shop.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, I would say they're not going across the country for a lot of other reasons as well. But anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
So, predictably, Boeing increased the hours that people had to work, decreased pretty much everything regarding regulation and safety, both for the employees on the floor, but in regards to the work they perform, all in the name of saving money, cutting costs. Because, Boeing, that multi-billion-dollar corporation that receives guaranteed federal and government contracts with the military-industrial complex, they don't make enough money. They're poor, plucky underdogs, you see. And so...
See where you're going with this?
Yeah, they cut corners pretty much everywhere they could, cut costs everywhere they could, except for their own wages and benefits. And
first mistake was having it in South Carolina.
Yeah, well, guess what? That was by design.
Well, man, those are right-to-work states, man. I lived with it, dude.
Yeah.
There's no union where I grew up.
And who's one of the senators in South Carolina?
Oh, Lindsay.
Yeah, little Miss Lindsay. And guess what Lindsey Graham used to do? Used to get a lot of money with his buddy Newt Gingrich for having basically former government jobs privatized and then shipped to their states for pennies on the dollar.
I was going to say sing soprano. What did Lindsey Graham used to do? Sing soprano.
So,
I bet he does sing soprano.
I don't think
hey, nothing wrong with singing soprano. If you fell out there singing soprano, I ain't saying that's wrong. I just think it's...
I love me some Geddy Lee.
I think it's on
you
point.
Know that.
Oh, man. Overture.
So, things started falling apart, and a employee, a poor bastard by the name of John Barnett, who was in charge of...
I want to ask you, because you looked this up, because I looked at that. I read this article. So,
right.
Barnett, was he from Seattle or was he from South Carolina?
I believe he was originally from Louisiana.
Okay. Because, that name is sort of familiar to me, the last name from around, because I pretty much lived in South Carolina. Depending on where that plant is, I know people. I know people who have worked for Boeing just because Gulfstream is close, and when you're
I believe it's. I don't know where where is the plant? It's in North Charleston.
So an hour and a half.
But Barnett's not uncommon last name.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have heard the name.
Okay,
so
it doesn't matter anyway. I was just curious.
So. He was a quality control manager who blew the whistle on Boeing for cutting all these corners. And as several investigations were done, including one that they found that employees were instructed to use Dawn dish soap as a manufacturing lubricant when installing certain parts. That doesn't quite cut the grade. By the way, those parts were like doors and seals and stuff. There's actual lubricants and stuff for that purpose, but it costs money, and they're only making billions, not multiple billions.
Oh, I see.
So
Makes sense.
he blew the whistle on him, and this stuff takes time to get out because some guy going around going, they're fucking everything up by being a bunch of cheap bastards, right? And people are going to die. That takes a while to get around. So once the plane started falling apart, everyone's like, hey, wasn't there a guy saying stuff a bit ago? So this guy was in the middle of giving deposition testimony in a whistleblower retaliation case against Boeing. He had, I think it was one more deposition to go through. He had been, I think he had already been cross-examined and was about to give his testimony and be questioned by his own lawyers. And he went to his hotel room that night, and he had stopped on the way to his hotel at Taco Bell, which is minor relevant
As
detail.
one would.
Shout out.
Yeah.
And went to his hotel. He was reportedly pretty excited about the deposition being wrapped up, looking forward to seeing something done about it, because that was sort of his career.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he lost his career pretty much because of it. And let's see if I can find. Police were sent to the hotel to conduct a welfare check after people were unable to get a hold of him while he was in Charleston to testify. Upon their arrival, officers discovered a male inside a vehicle suffering from a gunshot wound to the head. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. Now, some fun little details about this guy. He didn't whistleblow until after he retired. And from all accounts, it's not stated anywhere, but from all accounts, that was deliberate because post-retirement, he had access to all of his files and memos. If he had whistleblown while working, they would have fired him and cleared out his office.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So whistleblowing after he retired, he was able to take all of that stuff home.
Okay.
So the big thing with whistleblowers is a lot of times they'll come out and they'll say something and everyone's like, okay, well, what's your proof?
Right.
And they don't have it because they said something and got their ass canned and then everything got tossed.
He does.
Well, yeah, he did, because in this case, he didn't give them any warning that he was about to do this.
Right.
So this dude had documentation, emails, he had memos, he had meeting notes, all about how they knew about this stuff and were actively covering it up.
I mean, it's definitely hard to believe that there's not a scandal going on.
Oh, but here's the fun part. That Taco Bell that he bought.
That was a Taco
Mm-hmm,
Bell.
mm-hmm.
He was killed so quickly after returning to the hotel room that the Taco Bell still had condensation on the cup.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, generally, if you're going to kill yourself, you don't
Not on an empty
Taco
stomach.
Bell?
yeah, like seriously, that's your last meal?
Yeah.
Like I love Taco Bell, but if I'm going to kill myself,
last meal in it.
Maybe it was the last meal that was closest that he got to
Not
choose
even an Applebee's.
Maybe he
it's
didn't
just
want to pay
Taco
extra
Bell.
for the Uber. He was just like, well, Taco
Like-
Bell's kind of on the way. Well, you hit this drive through real quick.
Yeah, not
I
even
feel
a
like,
steak
yeah.
from Applebee's.
Uh,
Taco Bell.
It's not
So-
evidence because you got to speculate about that, but you really do have to speculate about, it just doesn't make any sense. Now I'm sure that it dives even farther into.
None a maker.
there's more because let's look at it. Okay, so just we'll look a little closer at it. Notwithstanding the concept that you're going to buy Taco Bell and then kill yourself instead of because you're in Charleston. It's not like you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like
The
there's
Taco
gotta
Bell
be
choice boggles my mind. If if like he didn't meet his death that night, like, because you still got to go back to court that next day. To me, that's a bold move.
Nah, some of us have strong,
I mean, it depends on if
bloodlines
that's
are
a regular
strong
part of
Taco
But a
Bell.
retiree, Brock?
Well, listen, if it's regular
He's
part of
only-
his diet.
He was only 62.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Good for him. Well, I mean, not good for him. He got killed. God damn it.
You see,
dang.
that's a tacit
Wow,
admission.
Alec, have a heart.
Tacit admission. You said he got killed, not he killed himself. That means you're on board. So,
I mean, it doesn't really
notwithstanding
matter.
the-
I don't think that's what they're waiting for. I don't think there's a jury full of people that'll be like, did he get Alex on board? All right, we can convict Boeing now. You know what I mean?
Hey,
like,
well,
maybe
we'll
you're not
see
giving
next
yourself
week.
enough credit.
So, Taco Bell being a weird choice notwithstanding, it doesn't even seem like he finished it. Because he got to his hotel.
Yeah, I mean, you don't eat half a burrito on purpose.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Or you do.
If you get to your hotel, are you gonna eat your food in the car?
No, absolutely not. You may have started it on the way there.
Yeah,
but you ain't
you
gonna
might have.
finish it in the
But
car.
in Taco Bell, of all things, you're gonna eat in a car.
and are you going to
No,
buy
no.
more Taco Bell than you're going to finish in a hotel room?
You better be having burritos if you're eating that in the car. I mean, everything
what
else
you
is
do
going
when
all over.
When you buy Taco Bell, you buy enough Taco Bell for now, and then like 2 hours later.
Right? Yeah, yeah. And hey, so on that.
Yeah,
So
subject-
was his later Taco Bell still around? Did they find a couple of tacos and
It doesn't say anything about
Someone
how much was
finished it.
eaten. It doesn't say about how much was eaten, if anything was eaten. The only
I mean,
note
where
is
did
that
quality
it was so
detective
soon.
work go, man? Because I feel like you should really dive
well,
into
it's fault.
Could be. Maybe it's one of the things they're keeping out of the media so that they can identify
Right.
how many tacos it was.
Yeah, the timing and the Taco Bell. I mean, it's hard to say that wasn't an inside job.
I mean, just
Yeah,
the other things, like, without the Taco Bell, man. It's just too
No,
much.
Taco Bell was standing.
Okay, well, the qualifier for Todd is the Taco Bell. I mean, when I read that article the first time, I was like, well, But whenever you were like, you're going to agree that they did this, I was like, well, let me just hear your argument,
Well, there's something with the Taco Bell for sure.
Well,
We
just
don't
the
have all the
fact.
facts.
Yeah, but I mean, just that's just tier 1. That's just like entry level. This doesn't add up.
Well,
Now we get into the next.
we know
we
that
get
it
into the
doesn't.
next
Oh, I
layers
bet it
of it.
gets deep.
We get into the next layers of it. Okay, so for
5
one,
layers.
he wasn't done testifying, and he was very adamant about seeing it all through. This is a dude that meticulously, kept record of everything. Didn't retire. Didn't come out until after he retired.
Mhm, mhm.
Like this, he had a plan. He wanted shit to go down a certain way, and he's not going to kill himself the day before he gets to see that happen.
Wouldn't think so. No.
No, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. And there is the troubling little detail that he went on multiple interviews and said, if I kill myself, I didn't kill myself.
Yeah, that was like the
Did he
tagline
say
of the
that?
article I read in whatever news outlet was covering it. I mean, yeah, there isn't a question to me. I don't really think that much will be done about it.
So speaking of Taco Bell,
Taco Bell.
Well,
little
the
segue.
problem is, it's a big deal. This isn't Aaron Brockovich level bullshit. These are fucking airplanes.
sure.
Sure.
How
I
many
did love
people?
that movie.
How many people fly in a day?
Oh, I don't know.
You
I
know,
suppose it's worth a Google.
I mean, if you're going to
Yeah, and
Google
how-
that, I would Google how many people fly on Boeing.
Boeing. And
Oh,
Boeing,
yeah.
and you know what? It's not just the reputation of the commercial planes either. Boeing has military contracts. And, not for nothing, but Coca-Cola sent death squads to Mexico to kill union leaders in 1980s. So it's totally reasonable for corporations to whack people for getting in the way.
And I'm not saying, I don't think anybody's saying it's unreasonable. I think at this point,
By the
we've
way,
agreed with you, and you're just continuing to
by the
convince.
way, the Coca-Cola thing, not a conspiracy, verified fact.
That's awesome. I didn't know that, and now I kind of want to get back on the Coke train.
What? AJ.
I didn't know they were gangsters. That's pretty rad.
Well, they're not gangsters. They're anti-gangsters. They're fucking Pinkerton
They're
losers.
glorified pinksters, man.
I cannot
They're
find that
Pinkerton.
specific information.
Pinkerton, sorry, pinksters was not. Thank you, Brock.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not what. Yeah.
Union busting scumbags.
Dude, Brock, I was talking to my mom the other day, and I had like a few seconds where I legitimately thought that like my whole worldview was questioned because, like, when we moved to Georgia, my dad was working in Petrolia, and I never really knew like what happened there. I thought he got laid off, but my dad was management there, and he the way that my mom said it, it sounded like he was a scab, and like he crossed a picket line, and I was like, "Are you telling me my dad was a scab? Like he just went in there? Like his dad toured the country on strike for a long time. Like,
yeah, that would be real fucked up.
It just blew my mind. I was like, what? And then she was like, no, I didn't say that right. And then what actually happened was one of his superiors was really like cursing him out and really talking down to him one day. And my dad was really good friends with the union guys. And the union guys reported that to their union chief about how they were treating my dad. And then they fired my dad for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think because he was too chummy with the union.
Yeah.
Because like
Well,
he had friends, man. Dad's a regular guy.
Well, that sucked.
So,
But yeah, that blew my mind.
Hey, at least you came back with an accent.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do about it?
They'd do more than fire us if they could get away with it.
So, got some dates and some things going on here.
Some things and some stuff.
So Friday, April 5th, first thing, I guess, we're going to try to get that single out, have everybody listening to that. April 6th, we're playing Maple Grove Tavern, Maple Heights, Ohio.
The singles ready to roll?
April 5th.
I had him set a deadline just so we can get it out. I've already retaken the vocals, and it's just they're gonna sit down and get it mixed and get it ready to roll. So I just was like, hey man, I just want to say on the podcast what the date was. Yada 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 yada.
So yeah, April 6th, Maple Grove Tavern, Maple Heights, Ohio. We got Storms Within, Iravera, and Vernatica. All Erie bands playing with us. April 13th, playing Toby Hill again. It's going to be a split set, but Will doesn't know who's playing yet. You know, typical
really?
Will things.
I'd usually, when I hear split set, I just assume that means that Fuzzy's playing with us.
Yeah.
Well, he said that they might be playing.
Oh, keep it down. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then always, we want to plug the festival.
Right.
Hills and Hollers Music Expo, June 7th through 9th. Going to be out at Eagles Pavilion in Cooperstown. 2 stages.
Hell yeah.
Going to be, I can't even say 20 plus anymore. Going to be about 20 bands. We lost one already, so not surprised.
That happens. Who'd we lose?
Soul
Bender. Soul Bender, and also we I talked to him at Toby Hill. They're playing the VW Cruise is that Friday, Saturday, and actually I forgot to tell you about this, but I told him that when we see what
you did tell me.
Did I? What I did tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, what Friday looked like if they wanted to catch a Friday spot because they're going to be there at the other thing on Saturday if there's room. And they wanted to play 2 in a weekend. But I'm unsure. But we are playing with them
for a cancer benefit.
I believe, in June.
Yeah, what is it, 13th?
Yeah, we put it in the calendar the other day. All right, next thing on your list, Todd.
Well, so back to Hills and Hollers. Free camping all weekend, all ages, with an accompanying adult. Why not? Got some vendors secured, which is awesome. We got the AJ Bodine's hot dogs.
I know, I'm so excited.
So, Bodine's hot dogs, all beef hot dogs, amazingly fresh burgers and sausages, and so much more.
Where'd you pull that from?
That's a Facebook quote.
That's a Facebook
right
quote.
up, right quote.
There you go.
Right.
That's the guy that's always by the park, right?
Yeah, man. He's always busy. I'm excited.
Yeah, he's excited. He's talking about getting a dessert cart up in there that he knows.
Y'all know how I feel about street meats of any kind.
Hell yeah. Say it again, Alex.
Street meats of any kind.
Yeah, you sell me meat. If you sell me meat off something that has wheels, I'm good to go.
Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, two things go together.
Yeah.
So then we got Funky Fold.
Funky Fold.
Did I show you some of the tie-dyes
Yeah,
today?
you did show me some really cool stuff.
So all custom stuff. So they aim to inspire self-expression and celebrate uniqueness with a wide variety of tie-dyes. You can also see their stuff at funkyfold.com.
Also, if you want Todd to read your mission statement for you, royallybankruptmusic@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll do some too. I'll give you
You
that.
want some voiceover work? We got you going.
Yeah. I'll do some voiceover.
Yeah, I think it's figure outable. Quoted from Alex today. I enjoyed it. Figure outable.
Well,
just one of those things.
I'm just ahead of the curve. That's gonna be in Webster's in a few years, and y'all are gonna be like, "Listen, I apologize," and I'm gonna be like,
"No, I'm not.
You gotta stop apologizing because this is happening all of the time."
It's
getting a little.
It's going to be called. It's going to be called Webster Rubric.
Oh no.
Oh no! So, Hills and Hollers, is that what you had? Just the two vendors right now? If you're a vendor and you want space at Hills and Hollers, do we set up a different email for Hills and Hollers?
Yeah, there's Hills and Hollers Music, Hills N Hollers Music Expo @gmail.com.
That's Hills, the letter N, Hollers @gmail.com. Had a little stutter there because I was like, did I already say the Hills? Yep, N goes in between there. But yeah, if you want to be a vendor, also if you want to sponsor, we're gonna have sponsors. We're trying to keep this event free to the public and support local music. So yeah, just give us an email. And there,
are we charging a vendor fee this year?
No.
Oh, so there's no vendor fee either. So basically, if you just want to lose out on free money like a fucking idiot, yeah, don't worry about it. But if you want to show up and maybe sell at least one thing to someone that's probably drunk, yeah,
you got a table, bring a tent, sell some stuff. Well, email us because we got to have a plan of the layout and whatnot. But yeah, email us there. Hills and Hollers coming up soon.
Well,
that's all the plugs I got there. No, I think
that all the plugs.
Yep.
AJ, plugs. You're filming an hour and a half comedy special at the Marvick, right?
No. I'm actually.
They gonna turn the lights on the other room on for you?
I hope so. I just pulled into the Walmart because I need to get some stuff and some food.
I know what you're doing. We talked about it. You're getting.
Yeah.
AJ, stay away from that Alfredo aisle. We talked about it.
Don't tell me what to do. He's sitting there. He was my Trojan horse. Yeah. He's leading the way.
Trailblazer.
The white trash golf.
I would be surprised if AJ doesn't go in there and get him some Classico Alfredo sauce and be like, you know what, that does sound good.
That's what you're surprised about?
You know what? I'm going to say something controversial. I think the Walmart General Tso's chicken is probably some of the best General Tso's chicken you can get.
It's not bad.
Ooh.
They got
Yeah,
actual like chilies in it.
Well, I got to get something to eat, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the sign off.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
Hit it,
yeah.
Big Al.
Thanks for listening to the After Practice podcast. Yeah, I did not have the energy there. Did not have it. Hold on. Boys, let me get a resound whelp in
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Well,
All right. Thanks for listening to the After Practice podcast. We'll see you next time. And we'll catch you on the road.
Keep your stick on the ice.
If they can't find you handsome, they should find you handy.
That's right.